Showdown in Chinatown. Showdown in Chinatown. This is a crazy transfer saga. So, guys, you know what it's about. You've seen the freaking thumbnail. Hopefully, you have eyes so you can see that damn thumbnail. Your boy, Raphinha, he's waiting for Barcelona, but do Barca have the funds to buy him? Can Barca strike a deal with Leeds? Chelsea, we're waiting. We've already struck a transfer deal and we're waiting to talk personal terms. Ousmane Dembele, his contract fully expires at midnight and he will officially at midnight become a free agent. Is he being foolish when he knows that Barca really don't have the money to spend on your boy? We're going to talk about, because a lot of Barca guys are supposed to be on this stream, so because I want to really know about, can Barca create the funds? Because we're talking about Lewandowski. Barca have made a bid again that has been rejected because Bayern are holding out for 50 big ones, for 50 kahunas. Hold up for 50 freaking kahunas. And then we'll talk about Neymar. Is he staying? Is he going? Is he staying? Is he going? Reports say that he's going. I see some Twitter handle called PSG Hub, which is obviously biased, that says, oh no, he's staying, he's here. What's going to happen? And is it feasible for your boy to leave when he's on 300 million a second? We'll have all that to talk about. So, guys, I am joined by Mr. Matt B. Aloha, bro. I think you guys have seen him on the streets. He's normally in the chats.
Sometimes.
Sometimes okay, maybe
I am watching. I just
no, I think I'm confused with something. But shout out to your boy Matt B. You know, Barca fan, trying to say what's up, and shout out to your boy Yassir Saeed. Also, as well, man, trying to say what's up. And hopefully Yassir is in a safe place. I don't know why his camera's up, but we'll see about that. So, guys, look, man, let's just get straight into it. So, Raphinha. Chelsea had a bid accepted. It was accepted. It was all good. I think it was around 60 mil or something. And then you then saw a scenario where because the situation is Raphinha is waiting because his preferred destination is Barcelona. That is his preferred destination, but he has to be realistic. But like personal terms is no deal. They've agreed personal terms ages ago, but you can only enter into the personal after you've agreed with the club. So Leeds aren't going to allow them to even talk personally or create a personal deal with Raphinha until they get that money. And I think that's from where Leeds are coming from. They say, no. No installments, no style, and so forth. We want that money up front. And my issue is, this is no hate. If Barca had the money, pay the money. We paid up front. We know what Leeds valuated. We're like, how about 53? 60 it is. Because we know where Leeds' position is. This is a star player. They've just come up from promotion and they want to be able to get as much for him as possible. A Brazilian international that can help them stay in the league. So it is what it is. So it was 60 mil. Chelsea paid the cash, ready to go personal terms, but now I say, oh, Barca. So I don't know what Laporta Barca is doing because, bro, it is what it is. If you can't, because it's going to be difficult for them. Now, we're not hearing that apparently some levies have been triggered and so forth, so which means that they now have, I think, about 200 mil plus to now spend. But you have to remember, they need to sort out Christensen and Casey. They will get to Lewandowski because Bayern, we know how Bayern are rolling. Bayern are not going to accept one kobo less than 50 mil because there's some beef happening between Lewandowski and Bayern. So you need to put forth 50 mil for that dude. And I think the issue for Barca is this. It's 50 mil for Lewandowski has to happen because they want to try and get less. It's not going to happen. 50 mil is for Lewandowski, and that is their priority. Will they now have enough money for the Christensen, for the Casey, and also to drop 60 mil for Leeds? Because Leeds are going to hand firm for 60 mil. This is my position, and I'll get over to Matt B. As long as we get one of these dudes, I'm good. As long as we get one of these dudes, I'm good. Either we get the Us or Raphinha, and I'm good. But we have to get at least one of them. Because here's my thing, though. My preferred player, even though it's much more risky, is your boy Dembele. That is actually my preferred dude. But if we're not able to get him, we have to have Raphinha. I do not want a somehow disastrous situation as for some reason in the 11th hour, Dembele decides to stay with Barcelona. Raphinha, Barca somehow inexplicably come up with the 60 mil for Leeds. They now get Raphinha, and Chelsea are now left with nothing. I don't want that scenario. That's a messed up scenario. So it is what it is. So obviously we got your boy Ousmane. Ousmane, yeah, feel free to put on your webcam. I want one guy's on vid, I want one guy's not vid, man. So Matt B, man, honestly speaking, do you believe that Barca are gonna get your boy?
I don't think so. I think it would be much cheaper if we just keep Dembele. Even if he is a little unhappy with the pay cut,
Mm.
I think financially it just makes more sense, especially if we don't sell De Jong either. Because I
But
prefer to keep both, in my
no,
opinion.
okay, but man, but what if the situation that Dembele doesn't extend? That he says no, I'm not happy with it, and Barca like that's it, we can't offer anymore. Then what would your position then be? Because if Dembele's like no, I'll be a free agent, I'll try and work for other clubs out there. You've now lost Dembele. Are you like okay, we have to now go all in for Raphinha, 660 mil?
I mean, yes, we could, but I'm not really sold on Raphinha because
Okay.
I can't just rely on YouTube highlights because I don't watch was he play for Newcastle?
No.
Right? Was it
Look,
Newcastle?
that's disrespectful. It's Leeds United. Leeds United.
Oh,
Leeds
okay,
United.
Leeds. Okay, well, yeah, there you go. I don't even know
Yeah.
where he's playing, but
Yeah.
like,
So go on.
but yeah, like 65 for a young player that we don't know where he's gonna be at. Like, I really don't know. Like, for you, where would you rate him? Like in the tier list?
I mean, for me, based on what he did for Leeds and so forth, I would. It's between an upper tier 3 and tier 2. It's probably like on the lower end of tier 2. I would give him because he has ability. The guy has amazing ability, and he's clearly Leeds' best player. But as you said, that it's unproven. But my thing is that he has that raw ability, which is very key. So from Chelsea, I understand your view. From Chelsea point of view, we need somebody that can beat a man 1v1. Let's just start there. Then hopefully Tuchel can now improve his game. For you guys, you're not in that situation. You have a lot more technical players than Chelsea do. So I can understand your scenario. Bro, Dembele is my preferred option. Like, if it's a scenario where you guys get Raphinha, are we getting Dembele? Oh, that's what I want because I know what Dembele can do because he's almost proven at a higher level than your boys. So I understand your thing, and we'll probably get to Dembele because the way this guy is moving, but bro, it ends at midnight. There only a few hours left, and this guy's not made a freaking this decision, and it seems
Yeah,
like he's standing firm.
Yeah, I think the coaches have a big say in it too, because I'll say Xavi loves them, and then you got Tuchel who's worked with them. So it's like, do you pick Tuchel who made you, or do you pick Xavi who's like his icon when he was a kid, obviously, because Dembele was a huge Barca fan as a kid. So it's like, do you play with a guy who's more experienced or less experienced, but he's a legend that you just respect? That's the.
I mean, no, we'll see. Let me come to Osman. So, Osman, where are you at with this whole Raphinha scenario, man?
Yeah, so if we're asking my personal opinion, I wouldn't say he's worth more than 45 million.
God damn.
But this is Leeds we're talking about, and if we wanted to get him on the cheap, they should have been relegated, but they stayed up. And Leeds now have the power to ask for whatever they really want to. So they're saying 65 million or more. And I think Dembele has already considered. I mean, we consider Dembele pretty much a non-Barca player at this point. So we look for a winger, and Xavi is looking for a winger, and Raphinha has links to Deco, and Deco has links to us. So that's why we're still in the race. I think his best is his.
But 60 mil Leeds are not going to budge from 60 because that would be. If Leeds have already accepted 60 mil from Chelsea, they can't accept anything less than 60 mil from anyone else. So my thing is, let me ask you two questions. Do you believe Barca will pay the 60? Second question is, do you think Barca should pay the 60? I think you may have already answered the second question, but answer me those two.
So I think we will. We're just not going to pay it up front like Chelsea. I think what we're trying to do is we're going to try and pay it in installments to match the 60 million or 60 million plus package and count on Raphinha's desire to join us at that point. So I think we're not trying to spend too much on at once. It's a cautious game. It's really about us matching the financial package. Um, and as for should we, uh, I I I think we're trying to make a comeback this season, and I think Laporta and the Barca board want to go in a direction where we have quality players on our team. Raphinha is that guy. He's the closest thing to a right winger that we want.
Mm.
Dembele obviously hasn't cooperated. Otherwise, we probably wouldn't be in this race right now. So I think that's what they want to do, and I support that. We're looking for a productive summer transfer window. So also what we're gonna go out and do. 60 million is steep, but I say we go for it if we can put the money up and deliver the package and
But
have
obviously,
Deco will do his
obviously
thing.
under the condition that Dembele doesn't resign, you say go for the 660 mil for Raphinha.
Yeah.
Okay. So yes, talk to me, man. Where are you at with this whole Raphinha thing, man?
I see. I disagree with the point you said earlier. I feel like you got it. The transfer market is very complex.
Okay, I know.
Because there's two aspects to the whole Raphinha situation. There's so many things going on with the whole Raphinha situation. But let me just focus on Raphinha himself. If Raphinha's desire is to go to Barcelona, and he really wants to go to Barcelona, Barcelona could literally say, "Listen, man, we want you desperately, but you need to advocate to yourself to Leeds United that you only want Barcelona." If he does that,
Yes.
then let me
Okay.
If he does that, then Barcelona can afford to get Raphinha. It's that simple.
No. Expand.
So
So you say that. So Raphinha goes to Leeds and says that I only want a Barca. How does that push Chelsea out of the equation?
because it doesn't matter how much Chelsea are willing to pay then.
Yes, that makes no. Okay. Yes, okay. Hold it right there. So I just feel one to go. Really? So we've now paid 60, and Barca say, okay, we'll do 55. So are you saying that Leeds will accept 55 because Raphinha?
Yes.
Yes, that makes no sense. Yes,
It makes sense. You know why it makes sense?
How,
HH?
how does that make sense?
Because the player doesn't have to leave Leeds United. Especially look at the Raphinha situation. Raphinha could be like, okay, you don't want to sell me to Barcelona, right? I'm not going to leave. What they're gonna do?
Okay, then
it puts Leeds. Look, Leeds United has an asset in Raphinha. For similar to the whole Calvin Phillips situation, at the end of the day they want to sell Raphinha. Yes. They want to sell him to the highest bidder, to the most money they possibly can, which makes logical sense. But also Leeds United are not stupid. At the end of the day, they want to get rid of him. They don't, in my general opinion, Leeds United, yes, they want 60 million, but if they get 40 million, they will take him eventually. They will take it. If they're gonna lose out on 40 million, they will not lose out on 40 million. If Raphinha says, listen, man, I know Chelsea are interested, I know Arsenal are interested, but I want Catalonia, and this is a World Cup year. I'm gonna play the week in week out in Leeds United. I'm already have my the Brazilian coach Tite already knows who I am. I'm gonna play regular game time. I'm playing the World Cup. I don't need to move. If I'm going to move, I want to move to Barcelona. It is as simple as that. Then what happens is the shift goes to Barcelona. Barcelona will end up having the power.
Yes, you're making a very, very key assumption.
No,
hold up. But there's this assumption that you're making. You're making the assumption that if Leeds say, okay, no, Barca, the Raphinha would rather stay at Leeds than join Chelsea, a team that are in the Champions League, that will now put him under a more massive spotlight in club football. So saying because he doesn't get, it's like cutting off your nose to spite your face. So saying because he doesn't get Barca, he will reject going to a Champions League team and stay at Leeds. How does that make sense?
Because okay, this happens all the time in transfers. I'm telling you, there's a lot of transfers that has happened that, this is a good deal. Luis Diaz is a good deal. So-and-so is a good deal. 100%. There were clubs, for example, Luis Diaz, the clubs that wanted Luis Diaz, that came in after Liverpool, and most likely offered more money. But no, His heart was set on Liverpool. At the end of the day, it's what matters to Leeds United is the capital. Leeds United and Ajax and all these other clubs, they want to sell the asset for the highest bidder. But at the end of the day, it's a numbers game at the same time. They will not risk losing a set amount of money. In Leeds United's head, I can guarantee you there's an amount of money they're willing to let go. 40 million, I can almost guarantee you if Barcelona offers around 40 million pounds, they will accept it. They don't want.
But yes, but again, you didn't answer my question. Why are you assuming that Raphinha is saying Raphinha isn't Lewandowski? For Lewandowski is Barca or no one. So that's the whole different situation. For Raphinha, he's not had a Lewandowski stance of like, no, it's Barca or no one else. His preference is Barca. Has he come out and said, I will only move to Barca and Barca? He's not come out and said that.
You have to also look at this in a very, very logical way. If Raphinha was then extremely that adamant of joining Barcelona, I could almost guarantee you right now, you will not be having this. We will not be having discussion about Raphinha right now. Raphinha would have been a done deal a while ago. The moment Chelsea Football Club offered that money, Raphinha would be like, oh, you know what? All right, cool. I'm going to Chelsea Football Club. Why do you think Raphinha is waiting? 110% Raphinha is right now. He's chilling. I bet you right now, if you know what's so sick, go to his Instagram. He's probably in Catalonia right now. He's probably in Spain. He's probably hanging out Barcelona right now.
Yes, I know.
So that's what I'm saying. But okay. But here's the thing. Don't listen to reports. Don't listen to reports.
No. It's not about reports. Yes. I know for a fact. I don't care about reports. I know for a fact that Leeds are standing firm in saying that we won.
But it doesn't matter. That does not matter. Leeds United does not matter. Leeds United can say 100 mil. They can say 50 mil, 60 mil. It doesn't matter because that for them it's like, bro, is Raphinha. If y'all want him, pay for him. And then Chelsea, and hence why Arsenal was making those bids. Why do you think Arsenal was making 2-3 bids? Because they knew that there's gonna be a time where Leeds United be like, you know what, all right, that's good. But Chelsea went bam. And they put down the P's, right? And said that, oh, we want him. Then now they're in a situation where now, like, oh, Leeds United, they want the 60 million guarantee. They have it, all that stuff. But the problem is, okay, where does Raphinha wants to go? If Raphinha says, you know what, hell no way, I want to go to Barcelona. Do you think Leeds United are going to be like, oh, you know what, if you want to go to Barcelona, then no, you're forced to go to Chelsea? Nah, that's not how it works, HH. They're gonna be at a point where like they're gonna have a negotiation with Barcelona, like, okay, listen, Barca. We know we don't want to miss out on cashing in Raphinha, but how much were you guys winning? You know what I mean? Like Ousmane said, they're gonna be a situation where Barca is gonna be like, yo, man, we're gonna give you some money, but we can't give you a lot of cheddar, but we're gonna give you cheddar, guaranteed installments. That's exactly what they're gonna do.
So this is where this is the only way that I can vibe with you. The way I can vibe with you is because I think that there's a good relationship between Leeds and Raphinha. And I think that because there's a good relationship there, Raphinha and Deco will say, can you work something out? He really wants to go to Barcelona. I know that Chelsea have given you the amount, but him and Deco will be like, I know that, but his desire is to go to Barca. And it would be in good faith, based on our good relationship, if you can hash something out. Which is true. But Yasser, you need to meet us halfway. It's true, you need to meet us halfway. Barca, you need to make a realistic bid that they can say, okay, we'll roll with you.
But
the key thing, yes, man, like, look, we've given these guys the money up front, man. We've given these guys the money up front.
I can almost guarantee you, if Raphinha was not, because come on, put yourself in Raphinha's situation, man. This is Barcelona, man. Like, I understand the bridge is nice, London is nice, Thai B is nice. I know it's nice, Drogba but like Raphinha in his mind, he's in a situation where I was like, bro, man, if I don't go to Barcelona now, I may never go to Barcelona. And let's be honest, Brazilians, especially Brazilians, bro, Barcelona it's like, bro, you can't. It's hard to say no. So I'm telling you, this Raphinha is waiting for Leeds United and Barcelona to make a reasonable agreement in the whole situation. And okay, the last thing I'm gonna say about the situation is I have a weird feeling, and I don't know. Barcelona fan might think I'm crazy for this.
Tell me, okay. What's his weird feeling?
But I see both Raphinha and Us being at Barcelona.
On that note, let me take some sort of.
AJ, okay, AJ,
Yes,
clip
yeah, I
this.
said
please.
on that. No,
AJ, clip this.
Yes, yeah.
And when it does happen, then I want to have credit. AJ, I need my credit.
Okay, all right, no.
Yeah.
I've clipped it. I've clipped it.
Okay.
And if it happens, you'll be banned indefinitely from all live shows. So let me give it to your boy here. So yes says, imagine CR37 wins the World Cup, retires, and then plays James Bond. Yeah, here's the thing. I don't think anybody wants to see Cristiano as James Bond. No offense, he's my guy, he's my idol and everything, but I don't think anybody wants to see your boy as James Bond. But who knows? It could happen because he would definitely wants to get into acting, man. So shout out to your boy LC. Javi Muad'Dib, again in reference to Dune, had become the hand of God, fulfilling the Catalan's prophecy, where there was Garcia Oba. He will now bring Koundé, Lewandowski, bro, you still can't afford Lewandowski, to lead Barca to the treble in my ex-club by Princess Shakira. Kelsey, I'm going to clip this. So you are now going on record in saying that Barca are going to get Lewandowski and lead to a treble. Case, you are mad. First of all, you need to get Lewandowski, because, bro, the way things are moving, we'll get to Lewandowski. If you don't come up with that 50 mil and not any kind of installment, because see, Bayern are not Leeds. We'll get there because Bayern, they want that money up front, not one kobo less. Harty Momo, do you want to play Haram Ball at left wing back for racist or Joga Bonito at number 5 with the boys? All I'm saying, Harty Momo, first of all, worry about your Bournemouth team, Aston, and worry about your Bournemouth manager, Arteta, and worry about that damn Europa League. You don't speak fluent. You've not spoken fluent CL in like three decades. So relax and chill, man. Thank you, man. Clown. Latin Rosario. Shout outs to the Colorado Avalanche hockey team winning the cup. Man, the Kronkers know how to build winning teams, right, Arsenal?
They do.
Apparently, Kronkers hockey team said what's up.
The hockey team and the last the Super Bowl, it was not this. Yeah, Rams. The Rams won the Super Bowl.
So why can't he get his rights with Arsenal?
Because he doesn't care. Kroenke's not a bad owner. He's a phenomenal owner. But when he cares.
Wow. Shout out to your boy QC8, man. Chelsea bid more, but Spurs sold Modric for less to Real. Are you sure this happened? No.
Yeah. It's true. No, leave you.
That's cap.
He was
I know,
terrible.
That's cap. Mr. Musa, man, another Barca fan in here. So, talk to me. Do you believe in what Yase is saying with regards to Leeds are willing to readjust themselves to accept installments because they were trying to help Raphinha go to Barca, or they would say no, unless you give us 60 million up front, we're going to allow him to talk to Chelsea in personal terms?
I think, well, first you kind of have to consider, is Leeds a sort of sentimental club? Raphinha has had, I mean, he's been their best player, or at least like sort of the heart and soul of that team.
Oh, for sure.
And so, it's almost an inverse of what's going on with Lewandowski and Bayern, where it's like, this is a player who's given everything he's got to you. The fans love him. He loves the team. Are you willing to tell him, we don't really care about what you want to do next? You are simply an asset at this point if we have to move you on. And so we want to get the most that we can get from you as soon as possible. The other thing is, financially, if you're Leeds, do you need the money right now? What are you going to go in and use this money for? I think
to get players.
I mean, obviously, but if you get the money over time, will it actually hurt or dampen your ability to sort of improve your team in the loss of Raphinha? Now, obviously, time value of money, everybody wants money now. It's more valuable now. But I am doubtful, honestly, even as a Barca fan, that Barca would actually be willing to match Chelsea's offer. And if you're Leeds, would you be willing to actually sell Raphinha for less? I'm doubtful. I am actually doubtful that Barca will be willing. I think they can, technically, but would they be willing? And if you're Leeds, are you going to basically sell a player on a discount to Barcelona? And let's be honest, Leeds and Chelsea are not really in competition with one another. So it's not almost like, oh, okay, in some other sports leagues, you'll see people say, we won't sell our best player to another, or we won't trade to the team in the conference because we have to compete with them. That's not really what's going on here. So if you Leeds, you just want your money. I would think. Now, whether you need it right now and whether you want to balance that, but also I think, no offense to Leeds, if you're Bayern, if you're Chelsea, if you're Barca, if you're massive clubs, superstar players might care about how you treat star players when they're evaluating their decisions, which is kind of interesting because Barca also hasn't been the greatest on how they treat players on the out, but either way. But if you're Leeds, I mean, are you really in the market for players who are going to say, oh, I didn't like the way that this situation was handled, so I'm going to reject my bid? So I guess my answer is no. I'm leaning towards no, but I don't know.
Okay. So your belief is that Leeds will hold out for the 60 mil upfront?
Yes, I think they will hold out if Barca make it spicy. I don't know what the package is. Laporta and Barca, they're always putting stuff together and trying to make things. But if you're Leeds, why would you accept a discount, basically? Like, why? Outside of we want to make this player happy on his way out, but I mean, if the money, at the end of the day, it's business is business.
Okay, so actually, before I come to you, here, Matt, where are you at with this whole thing? It's like, do you believe that it has to be an upfront deal, or do you feel that because Leeds and Raphinha have like a good relationship, they're willing just to sort of readjust themselves to allow Barca to pay in installments or in a different package rather than upfront?
I think they'll make adjustments. I mean, I think they can. It's just I think. Well, I don't think he's gonna come to us either way.
Okay.
Because I just don't think we're financially that great. But I just think the best move for him is the EPL, like staying in there. Because I can't see any other league affording him.
No, but I think because Matt has a very interesting angle, which is that, well, it's a very dangerous angle, which is that he's saying that Raphinha is untested, and so he'd rather keep Dembele than go with Raphinha, who he doesn't really believe has that much more assured ability and output that Dembele has, although there's injury tax. Because you have to weigh both things. Dembele, we know what this guy can do when he's fit, but the issue is his injury record. Raphinha is a guy who doesn't have the injuries as much as Dembele, but Raphinha simply is not as good a player as Dembele is.
Oh, well, I don't know how much the players are thinking about this, but I think the World Cup does have some waiting because for me, like, it goes back with De Jong. I think the reason he wants to stay is just because he knows he's going to get game time, whether he plays badly or not, and he just wants his confidence up. So, and even Xavi said he'll start him either way. So, I think either way, I just think they're gonna have to be really smart about this because, like, if you're not going into a World Cup like mid-season in a good form, it's gonna be super like hard to adjust.
Yes. So before I come to Yas, you want to say something? Let me come to Vator. So Vator, the whole Raphinha thing, man. Talk to me, man.
It's weird how these transfers are going through. First of all, let me know. Hopefully the noise in the background isn't loud. I've moved to a spot for better internet.
Okay.
So hopefully the levels are good. But it's funny how these transfers are not going through because money's not being done up front, and it's put a stall into so many things. I think the Raphinha move is, and I was listening earlier with regards to like whether it's the club who has the power, player power. I mean, Leeds want to profit off of him, so I don't see him going anywhere unless they get the best bang for the buck from a Leeds standpoint. And then as it stands for where does he go? Barca, correct me if I'm wrong, Barca's trying to get money. They're trying to sell. So don't sales need to happen before players come to Barcelona, and therefore Raphinha and Leeds. I don't know how that move works. I don't see how it works. There's too much pending with regards to Barcelona right now. So I wish I had a better answer for you, but I think Raphinha is going to wherever Leeds can get the money first. I think that's how it happens.
Okay. Yes, talk to me.
No, it's interesting because I don't know, your boy over in the football terrace, Terry said something that was interesting. He said Calvin Phillips to Man City I think they cost 45 mil. Irrespective of what you think about both players, Raphinha and Calvin Phillips, I would massively disagree. The way Leeds United view them is not the way we view them. I mean, Raphinha is an extremely talented player, but in terms of like the guy, the captain and whatever, was Calvin Phillips. That was like literally their Neymar and Messi type of, in terms of like value, in terms of like the guy for Leeds a whole, like the guy who symbolized Leeds United was Calvin Phillips. Calvin Phillips went to Man City for 45 million pounds. So Leeds United they could have sold him for a lot more than that. But they sold him for 45 million pounds. And the reason why they sold him for 45 million pounds was because Calvin Phillips was desperate to go to Manchester City. So what I'm saying to you is that, guys, do not disregard the fact that what the player preference means a heavy lot. Because at the end of the day, if the player does not want to go somewhere and you desperately want to go somewhere,
yes,
it has an effect on how the transfer goes.
Yes, it means
That's what I'm
heavy.
saying.
No, it means heavy. But if Barca say, okay, 45 mil, no, and I think you see, again, it's about meeting us halfway. Leeds be like, we know we want you to get and so on and so forth, but also think of us as well. We can't take a fee drastically lower than Chelsea's. So Raphinha has got to be realistic and like, I want what will benefit this club. And money talks, numbers talk. Mathematics is mathematics. 60 is more than 40, 60 is more than 55, 60 is more than 50. So it's that sweet spot. So if they say 55 or 50 in sports and so forth, then they can go through. But it has to be something realistic, and that's the middle ground that people have to try and find, man. So I mean, look, as I said again, my preference is Dembele, because I still believe that Dembele is the superior player. But Musa, to you, would you prefer to keep Dembele or to take a risk on Raphinha?
I think I would prefer to keep Dembele. Like, I think healthy. And I've heard you want a dribbler at Chelsea. You want a fighting guy. Dembele is a different league of dribbler to Raphinha. Like, Raphinha is a talented player. He's he's gonna be there, and he's probably more reliable. But Dembele's ceiling is so much higher.
Way higher.
And I think what's weird to me is I think, honestly, Chelsea might be better with Raphinha and Barca might be better with Dembele, because Dembele, ever since the injuries, his finishing ability as a scorer has declined like dramatically.
Mr. Relax, I would take Dembele over Raphinha. Dembele is my guy.
I would take him too, even if I was Chelsea, because I think he creates so much. He's maybe, I think positionally he's not the best, but I think when he has
the ball, we need some technique, man. I've been suffering with that clown Werner, man, on those knuckleheads for far too long, bro. Come on.
And I think the thing with Dembele is every time he plays, even when he has a lot of mistakes, there's always like a little bit of magic there. Like he's a guy that you want to watch even when he's off, and it can be frustrating sometimes, but I think, give me Dembele. I mean, in half a season, he had 13 assists.
No. He had the most assists in the league half a season.
Yeah, with like half of a season played, and I mean, he wasn't really taking shots on goal, but and also he's proven against the top competition. Watch him against Real. Watch him against a number of Jules Koundé, hottest center back in the market right now. Look at Barca in 2021. They put Dembele up front. Ate Koundé's lunch. I felt bad for Koundé because the mix of pace and skill, and also just a slight. I'm not gonna go too far, but a slight.
Koundé's for Fugazi, bro. Yeah, I don't want him.
I have questions about him as well, but I would take Dembele, and I think especially for Barca, where you don't really have like Torres. I'm not gonna get on it, but he's not a guy who creates for others. He uses his movement to get into really good places and score. Hopefully, you get Fati somewhere back up to a level, but he's also not. I think he's a good dribbler, but he's not a Dembele type dribbler. And Dembele can also just really shake as a defender. You would much rather see Raphinha with the ball at his feet running towards you than you would see Dembele, because it can go so many different ways with Dembele. So I'll take Dembele. Right.
Let me hit the doors and we'll go to talk about the Us. Casey, facts: Raphinha is a worse dribbler than Pulisic. Well, look, Well, here's the thing, though. That's impossible because Pulisic is literally. Even if Pulisic is right now, the guy is basement level right now. So it's impossible for him to be worse than a guy who is literally basement garbage level right now. So that's for me. That's just lies, man. Latin Ozario, Musa looks like he's going to produce the next Wu-Tang album. Shut up, Musa, man. Shut up, Musa. Your boy Grimy. If Barca match our bid, they will have to miss out on Lewandowski, and Leeds want to respect the agreement with Chelsea. Yasir, can you see? There's a thing called respect, especially with another EPL side. Yasir, the Queen Lizzie tax exists. Queen Lizzie tax exists. So I think Leeds will want to honor Queen Lizzie rather than try to undercut her. So yes, it is. I mean, come on.
HH, I don't want to lie to you. I seen how happy you were, bro. I just wanted to. No, I care about you, HH, man. I care about you, man.
No.
I'm just trying to tell you the reality, man.
Leeds wouldn't dare. Like Leeds, they wouldn't do that to a fellow EPL club. They wouldn't dare do that. They wouldn't dare do that, man. So guys, let's talk about a guy who can't decide whether he's black or white. So, let me come to your boy. So before I come to you, Matt, here's the thing.
Yeah, who is this guy, HH? I can't figure out a player that can try and decide if he's black or white.
Look, bro. This Ousmane Dembele dude, bro. It's like Barca are in a difficult financial situation. They have to balance the books based on the La Liga rules. They've told you time and time again, you're asking for too much. You're asking for too much. You're asking for too much. And here's the thing with Dembele. What if Barca said no? Yes, we don't have a right winger. Yes, blah, blah. No. Here's the thing. If Barca say no, that means you're off their wages. You're a huge wage. If they can somehow find a 60 mil from someone, he may not be as good, but at least they have a right winger to come in a Raphinha. Now you're a free agent. If for some strange, crazy reason Chelsea don't come in for you, then what? Because I don't know of anybody else apart from Chelsea who are looking to get Ousmane Dembele specifically on the wages that he's demanded. Matt, talk to me.
PSG.
PSG don't want Ousmane Dembele.
Yeah, they said no.
No, like because I think Galtier has a very clear plan of what he wants and so forth, and because for me, literally every day I'm always on Get French Football News, so I'm always looking at this every single day, and not once have I heard Dembele. See, that's what I thought, but not once have I heard his name come up. So of course they can afford him, but I think what Mbappe FC want to do is okay. Galtier has a specific plan with specific players, and we'll get to Neymar and so forth, and there are players that he wants and players that he doesn't want, and what's it called? Renato Sanchez. He's now joined in. That boy, Vitinho, that Portuguese dude, he's coming. So at no point have I heard of Ousmane Dembele because they're trying to create a very specific team for your boy. So Matt, the only people interested is Chelsea.
What if United hijack that deal?
Ooh. We got the money.
Hamza. Have you seen Rashford, dude? That guy.
Matt, look me in my shades. Is Ousmane Dembele going to go from Barcelona to Nine Hag?
I mean, if they get De Jong, I mean...
So?
If you may, Matt, let me...
honestly, I don't want it to happen because I want United to suffer.
If you may, Matt, let me interject here.
Okay.
This is a personal breaking news announcement to all the talented forwards, wingers, strikers. Please, I beg you, for your own career, stay the far, far, far away from Chelsea Football Club. Kai Havertz, Timo Werner, Morata,
I thought we were saying Man
Higuain,
United.
Fernando Torres, Lukaku,
So
Pulisic, Ziyech.
So Yasir, he should join United over Chelsea.
No, stay.
Yasir.
Chelsea,
No, Yasir.
He could provide for the GOAT. You know?
No, Matt.
Every time Hag improves players.
Yasir. Tell me right now you're not telling me that he should join United over Chelsea.
Who's Sebastian Haller? Who was Sebastian Haller before Ten Hag? Bro, he made a brick and do Santana look like
Guys,
he's
this is
decent.
the same panel. This
on.
streets.
No,
This is the same guy who says that Rashford is
HH.
going to get the
You
Ballon
have
d'Or.
to admit, Christian Pulisic.
I'd have to admit
The
anything.
Hakim Ziyech, Kai Havertz, Timo Werner, Fernando Torres, Morata, bro, Lukaku. How many more players are you guys going to destroy? And you know, this is a really big part of me wants Raphinha to go to Barcelona and Ousmane Dembele to start Barcelona because you guys will ruin your career going to Chelsea. Chelsea is a graveyard for talent, especially attacking talent. It's the reality. The money ain't worth it, man. The money's poison. It would destroy your career. Stay away from Chelsea.
Okay. Let me come to Musa right now because I don't know what kind of garbage that's verbal diarrhea that Yasir was shoving to my ears and so forth. So Musa, let's just pretend that we just ignored a drug addict from spouting. Ousmane Dembele, I mean, as a Barca, just try to explain to me what is his thinking. You're trying to get money from a club that is trying to balance their books financially. Doesn't he think that just by miracle, Barca will just say, "Oh, here you go," when they said, "Bro, we have to try and get Lewandowski. We're trying to now get Kessie and Christian and so forth. There's only so much we can offer you." Why is it, "Oh no, it's not acceptable"? Okay, then be a freaking free agent then.
I think I'll use an analogy. I think Dembele is sort of like a woman who's like, "Hey, I got this really good guy, but I don't like how he treats me all the time." But this woman, she's attractive, but she thinks she's more attractive than she is. And so when she goes out, she gets attention from guys that she also thinks is really attractive. Now, she thinks those guys would wife her. Those guys might only want to be with her for a night, or they might just be looking. They're like, that's attractive, but there are more attractive women out there. Dembele, I think, and Barca fans always skate over this, it's been a rocky relationship with Barca. It's been injuries. A lot of stories have been leaked to the media. He came out and actually made a public statement, I think, last year saying, like, "Hey, I've been quiet this whole time and people have talked shit about me in the media." I think what's going on is Dembele is like, okay, because we always hear these reports. He's ready to accept this offer. But then every time a report drops that he's ready to accept, you hear another report. Barca's ready to spend money. Yeah. Now, if you're an agent and you're like, wait, y'all are telling me y'all don't have any money, and yet every time we come to the table, we have nothing left. We're trying, but
Musa, they can't try that. They are ready to spend, but there are many pieces financially that they have to do. And also, what you're asking for is a lot. Like, he's asking for a hefty sum. And my thing, though, Musa, how strong is Homeboy's position? How strong is Homeboy's position? Yes, your quality and you're damn good and so forth. But I don't think that you're as vital to this team as, let's say, a Pedri is.
Well, okay. You're not as vital as a Pedri. And I think,
And also, injury, Musa, sorry.
Yeah, the injury tax.
If injury tax wasn't there, Barca would be like, it is what it is. Like, this guy is too important for us. But because of injury tax, again, middle ground. Bro, we get how important you are. We get that you are an assist demon and so forth. But literally, your crib is in the hospital.
I think this is the thing that I'll say. I think it's very difficult for both sides. I think Dembele should choose Barca because I think that's the best situation for his career. That's a system where you're already valued. Xavi thinks the world of you. You've played your best ball at Barca under Xavi. But also, on the other hand, outside of Pedri, you are Barca's best attacking force. I've watched Barca every game for the last 3 years. That is a different attack when you take Pedri out, which is why I think they slumped at the end of the season. And it's a different attack when you don't have Dembele. The rest of those guys, they have, like, Aubameyang can finish goals. Ferran Torres can get in position to finish goals. The rest of those guys, I mean, they don't really create. And so you'll just have Barca kicking the ball around the pitch. And if you're Dembele and you look at that and you're like, hey, I played half of a season and I contributed more goals or goal contributions than the rest of this lot. Like, maybe I am worth a little bit more. But I think if you're Dembele, you should take what's on the table, because you might look around, Chelsea get Raphinha, and they say, we don't need you. And then you have to either come back to Barca at a weaker position, or they don't want you anymore because they feel throttled or whatever. So
So
yeah,
wait,
that's fine.
before I go to Hamza then Vato, Musa, do you think my worst nightmare could be realized that Barca somehow gets Raphinha and keep Dembele? Because that is my worst nightmare.
I heard my boy earlier saying that it's a chance.
No.
I
Yas
really
is a
don't.
hater. He's a hater. No, Yas is a hater. He's just a hater. So don't listen to
Yeah,
him.
no, I think honestly the Raphinha thing is really a bargaining chip to try to make Dembele sign whatever contract he has. But there's no world in which I see Barca take both, because that would basically preclude Lewandowski, which it seems like, like Barca, somebody said something interesting last year was when Messi left, Barca, for the first time in 2 decades, didn't have a player on their team who they could say, this guy's arguably the best in the world at his position. They need another player like that. That is, as a top-class club, you need one guy, at least one guy, on the field, and that's Lewandowski.
Hamza, talk to me. This whole Dembele thing.
Yeah, Dembele, I mean, I think around. I really hope he stays. Can you not hear me?
Yeah. It's slowing up again. Go again, boy. You're looking a bit fuzzy, but go for it.
Yeah, I really hope Dembele.
Yo, Hamza, I think come out and come back in. Yeah. Bricknet is going crazy.
Right.
Come out and come back in.
Right.
Yeah, Vato, talk to me.
Man, Dembele, I like that guy so much, but he can't get enough games to play for me to actually talk with chest about how nice he is or how.
But he's nice though for the games. He's nice.
He is nice, but it's not consistent enough because he's not healthy. He's not available. Like that's the thing. That's when we talk about some of these fantastic players with their skill sets and their abilities, it's because we're able to put together like a good quantity amount of matches and say this is who they are. But he's here and there. He's here and there, and I worry for him because I think because of his health record, he should actually take what's available now. He should take what's available now as opposed to seeing how things position and maybe play a little chess and bargain and get something better. I think he actually needs to take what's available now because there's no guarantees with this guy. And my man who made the point earlier, there's no way that Raphinha and Dembele are remaining at Barca with Lewandowski making the world know that's where I want to go. So he needs to make a decision quick. He needs to make it quick. And again, I agree with you, HH. Like the man has world of talent. A brother like this he could do anything with the ball. But he's got to show it. He's got to show it in more than a few games, man. He's got to show that he can actually play through a proper season because that's actually how you earn or how you actually are trusted to actually get these contracts.
I would even say Barca would sacrifice both for Lewandowski if they had to. If they had to, they would go without signing Raphinha and Dembele if it meant getting Lewandowski.
I have a question.
Go for it.
Does anyone know how much Barcelona have to spend?
I know they signed a deal for about $800 million a couple weeks back, and they have like a 4-to-1 rule due to their financials. So it seems like supposedly they have around $200 million to spend.
You got to know calculus to be able to break down what Barca has to spend. It's crazy, man. Like all kinds of formulas, selling off shares. It's wild.
Yeah, because the thing is, like, I feel like at this point, if we don't know how much Barcelona have to spend, it's very hard to speculate who they will not sign. Because a lot of the players they sign already, technically signed already with Kessie and Christensen and these guys, they didn't have a contract, so there was no transfer fee to spend. But so I don't know. It's gonna be interesting to see, because for me, I do see it. I don't know. I mean, it's Barcelona might just be. Well, I've always felt this way about Barcelona, and I've told these Barcelona fans, Barcelona's a sneaky club. Barcelona, like these guys, man, like we think they cannot do anything, but all of a sudden they will have money to spend on bare men. So I don't know, man. Sometimes I just feel like Barcelona might be fooling people with all these reports, and low key are keeping their the reality close to chest, you know. So it's yeah.
Let's hit this. Oh, let's see whether your boy Hamza, are you there?
Yeah.
Aha,
Is this
cool,
better
cool,
or
cool.
is this still bad?
Oh no, it's good. It's much better, much better, much better. So talk to me, Ousmane
Is that better,
Dembele,
yeah?
man. Yeah.
About Dembele. Yeah, I think Barca are in trouble if we don't keep him. In terms of, because I think him and Pedri, the two most important players, but the two of the most unreliable with injuries as well. Because I think in an attacking sense, you lose Dembele, you've got Aubameyang, who's a good finisher, but if he's not scoring really, he's not doing much else. He's very reliant on that service, and Ferran Torres doesn't really trust him. So you think this Barca's very dry without Dembele and Pedri there.
So okay,
I do really hope he stays.
So if you're Barca,
it's like how far do you go? It's like
that's what I'm. So that's why
how far do you go to hold on to the man?
How much do you acquiesce to his demands then? So how important is he to Barca, to the fact of like, do you just say, man, whatever he's asking for, give it to me? You're like, hey, wait, look, man, don't just stick us up. We have alternatives. Or is it like, no, there are no other viable alternatives out there for Barca, so they have to do everything they can to keep him?
Yeah, exactly that, yeah. But you think, the thing of, he wants all these wages now, but he's got to think of it in a sense as well, where look how much you were getting paid all these years for doing virtually nothing, just being in the hospital. So I don't know, he's going to look at it that way, but he takes a step back and thinks, I'm getting paid all these years for virtually being unemployed.
Bro, these French players are getting on my nerves, man. Like,
hey, easy, man. Don't be anti-French, man.
No, like the whole nonsense with Mbappe and the whole Real Madrid and thing. Now you have Dembele doing this thing with his contract where then you have the host. Then there's a situation with Griezmann and Atletico Madrid. Apparently.
Oh, forget Griezmann.
But I'm just saying, these French players, man. I'm like, they just what's up with y'all in drama? Pogba dropping a documentary.
Yes, that documentary popped up. I liked the
1 out of 10.
It was good. It was Pogba in the drama. Pogba's in the drama.
You guys,
I'm just saying.
Let a black
French
man
players
live.
and drama.
Let a black man live.
It goes together, man.
You know how United marketed Pogba's comeback as Pogba? You think Juventus are going to market it as Pogback?
No, that's what I know. Look, that would be very, very cheesy, but it is going to be like maybe Pog Juve or Pog Bakuve or something like that. They're going to do some kind of a thing for sure. But maybe we'll touch on that afterwards. Let me just hit these dubs. So, from Elsie, who is a Barca fan who still believes that Barca deserved that 09 UCL that they stole. Thieves.
True,
did you cry?
No, I didn't cry because I knew that we got cheated. How could you cry when you got cheated?
Iniesta!
So that's up point. Elsie, I don't know who the Blue Patriots are. I mean, maybe my American friends can tell me who the Blue Patriots are. I know who Chelsea are. I don't know who the hell Blue Patriots are, bro. So, yeah, are a graveyard for attackers. Elsie, I speak fluent CL. When last did your club win a UCL? Like, when last was that? Can you tell me? Ooh, long time, wasn't it? Your boy... Lies Freezy, Eric T, not going to say that word, and Penaldo link up in. Okay, look, he beat the case though. He beat the case, so he's innocent, I think. So, Grimy, Barca still owe Lionel Messi 52 million euros in wages. How much do you owe people? Leeds, be careful. Leeds, be careful. These guys don't pay back their money. Leeds. Yes. This is what I'm trying to explain to you. Leeds. Right,
it's like, we'll pay you, definitely pay you.
Listen. Imagine that this this is your money. But so, well, we give you a little bit here, a little bit here, a little bit here, and then did you know what it would be like? It would be like, let's so like the next February, oh yo, Barca, we're owing support. Sorry, you've come through the Chinese restaurants. Do you want spring rolls or do you want sweet? No. This is the Barca office. No. Barca office? Do you want spring rolls or special fried rice? I don't know anything about freaking Barca office right now because they've changed their freaking number. That's how these guys roll. Leeds, listen to me. Never accept installments because you're never going to get that money. Get the money off time. Wait, hold up. Do you want to get paid in installments? Because you have a choice. Either get paid in installments or... Choose.
H, you know how hard it is to find.
Yes, yeah. TB gives you the cash, baby. He gives you that cash, baby.
You know when you know how hard it is to find someone that owes you money. You know how hard it is to find that person.
Yes, it's hard.
Yeah.
No. Yes, that's no. You know, there's times when like, again, I don't want to name any names because I don't want to expose people. There's times when like, I know I shouldn't lend this guy this money because I know that he's not going to give him back. But he's like, no, don't worry. And I gave it back to him and I'm like, yo, you know, I lent you something. He's like, oh yeah, I'll pay back. 2 months later, you know, oh yeah, look, relax. And somehow they'll just sort of change views and somehow they'll actually make you feel guilty for asking.
Yeah.
They say, wait a minute. I lent you the money. Why do I now feel guilty for pestering you? And so forth. They say, oh, so you don't believe that I'm going to pay back that money? It's like, mate, like I lent you the money. And you see, do you know what it is? You just know who to lend the money to and not to. Again, not to name any names. There are particular people that I know that I ain't going to get back that money. So basically, it's not a loan. I'm basically giving that money away. I'm not expecting that money back. So, you know, and we all have those, you know.
And Barca's one of those now.
Yes, they still owe Man City. Leeds, be careful.
100%.
You will not get that full money. That's a fact. It will be 2070 when aliens are coming down and we're about to be erased, and you'll be like, yo, Barca, before we get eradicated and aliens say what's up to planet Earth, can you please get back that money? Yeah, I'll give it back to you when we get taken to Mars for a lobotomy or something. Let me hit this guy. Your boy, Miguel Rabines. Tell this clown that our recent signings have won more trophies than United in the past 5 years. Wait, yes, this is to you. Yes, listen up. Yes, listen up. This is to you. Tell this bum-ass clown, Lassia Laid, who thinks that Rashford is a Ballon d'Or player, that our recent signings have won more trophies than his piece of crap, trash, filthy, stinking, bum-ass, crappy team called Boychus Divided in the past 5 years. Our new signings were instrumental in winning the CL, something that bum-ass idiot in the top right hand of the screen doesn't know anything about. Yes, you don't want to respond to this very, very aggressive abuse towards you.
It's simple. All I'm saying is I'm sick and tired of Chelsea fans complaining. Yeah, I complain all the time. The internet is full of Chelsea fans complaining. We don't want Timo Werner. We don't want Pulisic. We don't want Ziyech. That's all I've said. I've said you sign players with hype and they turn ass. They become ass. And you got to get them mad. And I'm just saying, like, hey, man, you sign Ousmane Dembele, you sign Raphinha, and if they turn ass, I just don't want to hear it anymore. That's all I'm saying. Like, shout out to you guys winning the Champions League, because you guys didn't do that for Chelsea. You guys did it for the world. You guys it was for world to save the world.
World peace.
For the evil entity that is Pep Guardiola and Manchester City. You guys need to be stopped. You guys need to be stopped. The world needs to band together to face a monster that's called Manchester City, the horror that is Manchester City, and we united and we defeated Man City and Pep Guardiola in the final. We did this together.
Yes, thank you. Yeah,
that's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, so someone said HH.
Wow.
Harty Momo. Nikola Jokic has agreed to a 5-year, $264 million Supermax extension with the Denver Nuggets, the richest deal in NBA history. # The Athletic. Mm-hmm. Oh, is this true?
Yeah.
Wait. I know this is cited on everything. Is it true that Durant wants out of the Nets?
He's a clown. Yes, him and Kyrie both want. You know what's funny? A report came out that him and Kyrie both want out, and they want to be in the same team.
Actually, real quick, are there parallels between Durant and Henry? When Henry hopped onto Barca just to get the UCL and so forth, Durant's just hopping onto the thingy but it's similar. You hopped onto the thingy to pretty much feed off of Steph and Clay to get that championship. They now won it without you. Because they said that your tour was too big, you couldn't get that through, the Nets through. Durant, as talented as he is, the guy is forgetting. And also, Durant, stop being a freaking baby. Why are you freaking using a burner account attacking people and so forth? And yes, I responded to him on Twitter saying that, bro, your 2 rings mean zilch. Those are the 2 biggest Bournemouth rings. Shout out to Niger. Giannis's 1 ring is better than both of your Bournemouth rings. It is what it is. So sorry about that many rants, man. Guys, let's talk about skiing, man. So guys, do you like skiing? Okay.
In Siberia. In
You like,
Siberia.
I know
Like
black people don't really
ice
ski
skiing,
much.
water skiing,
No, skiing.
snow skiing. Okay.
The ski.
Oh.
Yes,
I thought you were talking. I was skiing. I was like, in my head, the thought came. I was like,
yes, you really thought we were going to talk about skiing.
I thought I was like, maybe HH is like expert skier because you've been to Siberia many times.
No, hold on. So let's real quick before I get to Lewandowski. So I went to an international school in Geneva for 2 years.
Ooh.
And people are actually crazy when they say that in those 2 years, I never went skiing once.
Really?
So they said, wait a minute, you lived in Geneva, you were near Gstaad, one of the most famous ski resorts, and I went to bobsleighing. I know, cool runnings, it is what it is. But I never went skiing. I said, bro, skiing is something I've heard too many horror stories. I'll never do skiing. Man, 50 cents. 505050. Man, do you have that cash? Do you have the Cherini? Do you have the Cherini? Because look, let's talk something about German. Germans, these guys, they put their foot down. Okay, well, let's not get into the history, but let's just talk about the future. They put their foot down. So, Musa, relax. Don't. Man, but here's the thing. Do you believe that you're gonna pay that 50 mil to get the ski?
Yeah. I mean,
From where?
if the money we got from
So you have 50 mil.
yeah. I mean, what do you want me to say, dude? I don't.
No. I told you to say. Tell me exactly. I want you to be like Einstein. I want you to be like a mathematician. Like I was supposed to know that movie with Russell Crowe, freaking A Beautiful Mind. I want you to where you see all the numbers on the chalkboard. Give me the calculus of how you're gonna come up with that 50 million. No, Matt, forget that. If you have the cash and they want the cash, why didn't you just give them the 50 million? You know that they're not going to accept anything less. You know that these guys will not accept installments. If you have the 50 mil, why don't you put it down?
I mean, I don't know what's going on with what's his name, the ski and Bayern and their situation. Looks really ugly, but
yes, very ugly.
Like for Bayern, it's just let the guy go.
But man, here's the thing though. It's like this is different from Leeds. There is a huge breakdown. Bayern feel that he is talking way too much and making them look bad. So unlike Leeds and Raphinha, where they're on good terms, they're like, okay, Raphinha, anything you want. Bayern are like, oh, you will only leave on our terms because we are felt insulted and abused. So we're not friends anymore. So there is no way that we're going to accept. Because again, just as I said with Leeds and Raphinha, because Leeds and Raphinha are friends, maybe Leeds could be like, okay, we can accept some adjustments. Bayern, hell no. Because us and Lewandowski, we've not broken down. So we're not going to help Lewandowski in any way whatsoever for his desired move. So because of the breakdown, Bayern are like, mates. Like, what's it called? I think as on Barca Center on Twitter, they said that Bayern are not even taking any more of their calls. They're not even receiving their calls. So my thing, Bayern are like, man, here's the thing. Let me ask you this, though. Did Lewandowski screw up? By talking and forcing this breakdown, has he actually messed himself up? What if he was like, hey, I love things and so forth, I'd like to leave and so forth and everything, I'm happy with everything I was done with the Bayern. Then Bayern could be like, Leeds and Raphinha, okay, it is what it is, we've had a nice discussion and so forth, you want to leave, okay, cool, let's work something out. The reason why Bayern are so steadfast is because of how Lewandowski has been talking. So does this make it difficult now? Because Bayern are like, we are not, but man, I can almost promise you they're not going to accept any installments. It is that not one kobo less, every single thing right now.
Bayern have no shame, man.
Yes, yeah, mute your mic, Matt.
Yeah, Bayern are. Yeah, I'm not gonna say it, but
No, say it.
Tell-
We're all friends here. We're all friends here. Say
Tell
it.
us how you feel, man.
I don't know,
Pricks,
it's like,
bastards, a-holes.
you know that dude from back in the day, Adolf. Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I think Lewandowski. I think Lewandowski did it the right way.
Yeah.
Get ready, Chich.
Germans, dude. Germans.
Musa, can you just grab the mic, please? Can you just grab the mic real quick, Musa? Can you grab the mic?
Whoa, okay. I'm not even gonna address
Musa,
that
just
one.
just like
Yeah. I see, this is the thing. If you're Barca, you think you have the power position. Like Lewin, I just saw actually Bayern did reject Barca's latest offer, which might have been 40 million with 5 and add-ons. But Lewandowski is like, yo, I'm not playing for you again. And we've seen this playbook a million times. Like, if you're now Bayern, I don't know. They're a prideful club. They deserve to be there. Like, we're not gonna be bullied.
No. But Musa, I think it's like a very potent mix. It's a mixture of being prideful and how Lewandowski has come out to denounce them and so forth. So that is why it's such a topic. So, of course, we're prideful. We're going to make it as difficult and as hard as possible for Lewandowski, based on how it's broken down between us.
I agree, but I also think if you're I think the ski really, he understands how Bayern works. He's watched Bayern do business for the last 7-8 years plus. He knows, and you know what? In life, when you deal with a bully, you can't capitulate. Bayern don't play games, man. And so it's like either we're going to be force with force and this is going to be nasty, or I'm going to have to comply with you. Bayern told him, we don't have any intention of selling you. Now, I do think they probably would have, but if I come to you and I've given you 8 years of great service and you tell me, you spit in my face and tell me show up to camp on time like everybody else, like I'm a first dayer, I'm going to feel insulted. And knowing how you work and knowing how you process,
Musa, so now we're getting into a very interesting round now. You're under contract. Now, I was reading up on this, and they said apparently that before he moved to Bayern, they said apparently at Dortmund he wouldn't have shown up to training. Just for a laugh, I want Barcelona to be able to meet the transfer targets, and let's see what Lewandowski does. Are you because here the people say, oh, they woke up here. Now, it doesn't actually bother Lewandowski with the World Cup because, bro, whether he plays or doesn't play, that guy, he's the first name on the team sheet for Poland. So his spot is there. So Lewandowski, are you really going to sit out a whole year? Because here's the thing, though. What are the rules? I think they said, like, every week you don't show up or something, you get fined. So you're just going to keep on receiving that fine every week? Every week?
I think, but the thing is, if you're Bayern, who tends to be very businesslike in their approach, which can be cold. After a year, he can walk for free. If you can get fit, are you prepared to so Lewandowski, are you more prepared to sit for a year, or Bayern, are you more prepared to forego $50 or $40 million while you could be buffing up your squad for him eventually leaving anyway?
You see, that's where things get. So, I know, comes to Vita, that's where things get interesting, because you made a great point. This guy is 33, 34 years old. 40 mil for a 34-year-old. That's a good deal.
That's a damn good deal.
That's a good deal. So, as you say, you could either have an influx of 40 or 0. Because he is not signing a contract extension.
Anyway. Like, obviously, you lost the Holland sweepstakes, and you probably never were going to win. But you were like, Bayern was planning to move him in these next 2 years anyway. So your pride is one thing, but also Bayern have always moved in a way where they say, hey, we're going to put the club and the success of the club over everything. Are you prepared to put your pride over potentially making the club stronger, especially over an asset that's depreciating that you were planning to move anyway?
Yeah, but
I think that's the stronger cards. I really think he does.
Okay, wait. Vator, talk down. Come to your hands, Vator.
Okay, I think this is 3D chess here. It's not just Barca, it's not just Bayern, it's also Lewandowski. Everyone's positioning, everyone's trying to have the leverage, right? We know if Barca's trying to have a strong season next season, if they're not looking to obviously not fall back into Europa, they want to field a strong team. And that being said, it would make sense to have Lewandowski there early, have him with the squad, get those wins, have the cohesive team, and do your thing. Bayern, I think Bayern realizes that Barca does want this quality player. They do want Lewandowski. They don't want to risk not having him. So I think they're playing a little bit of chicken, right? Like they're both going facing each other and seeing who's going to blink first. And I think Bayern can afford to blink first because they don't have a Lewandowski. Yeah, they have Aubameyang, but if they're trying to have a successful season, they need this guy. Bayern just got Mane. So maybe they've already kind of seen the writing on the wall. We need to strengthen up with this guy going out the window. Okay. Now, we've seen this way too many times. My American brothers over here, seeing how they do it in the leagues. My back, I can't play. I'm going to show up, but my back's hurting me, or my toe, my big toe's hurting. I can't quite play. They're showing up, but they're not available to play. So they're still going to get their money. So yeah. Lewandowski he's straight. He did it right. Kane should be watching what Lewandowski is doing in terms of wanting out. Blast the club because you express what you want. Know where you want to go and say, this is where I want to go. And if you guys are going to still hold out, I'm not feeling too good to play. You're still going to have to pay me. So I think there's a lot of moves here. And it's Lewandowski. Lewandowski is going to... Lewandowski's looking good right now.
One other thing is he's got 1 year left on his deal. So it's not like
exactly
he's somewhere he doesn't want to go because nobody's going to pay for a rental. So it's like...
No, because you know what's so funny? Because it's like, because basically, like back in school, I hated rugby, so I'd always used to go to nurse and say like, is there, and plead that I just need you to write a sick note on this damn thing. I am a skinny black kid, and when I look at the opposite thing, I'm looking at a guy who is the same skin tone as me, but 5 times my size. Wants to snap my back in two. Can you please help this young Nigerian dude from not having his bones broken and write his damn ass nickname? I'm sorry. I'm like, you okay, let me know. What's it called? Hashtag me too. Hamza, talk to me.
Yeah, it's just, I was going to say that Bayern, they're not in the Paris where last year with Mbappe. Like, can you turn your nose up at million? I don't know what the financial situation is like, but them guys can get 160 million offer and say no to it. But Raphinha and Chelsea, I think, is a bit bad too.
Hamza, Bricknell. I think your instance is going to be crazy. I think you may have to reset. Let me come to Yasser. Yasser, talk to me.
I don't believe this whole Bayern, we on 50 mil, big dog, all that. Bayern Munich, you clowns. You bunch of idiots. Bro, this guy has 1 year left on his contract. If Lewandowski has every right to say, you know what, I'm not feeling it, I'm hurt, whatever, and not play. At the end of the day, one thing I realized about Bayern Munich is Bayern Munich are screwed in a way. If you look at it, in terms of financially, they're screwed. Because they simply cannot compete with the big dogs. They cannot compete with the big boys in the Premier League, and they cannot compete with PSG. They cannot compete with the Real Madrid. It's just obvious that the way their leagues are set up, Bayern Munich just don't have that money like they used to. They can't splash out like they used to. So you're telling me Bayern Munich, you have a guy who's on when you left in his contract, bro, you got to cash in. I don't care if he's Lewandowski, Beckenbauer, Gordon. It does, bro. He has 1 year left in his contract. You have to cash in because they cannot afford to lose him on a free. They simply can't, because if they lose him on a free, bro, like then you lose 30 million or 40 million that you could possibly get from Barcelona. They just don't have the money like they used to. The whole Haaland situation just proved that they just simply they were in for Haaland. That was their key. That was their key target. You know
okay,
that.
so you're saying that Bayern should accept the 40?
No,
or whatever
Bayern. They're running. The guys are running Bayern right now. Don't know what the hell they're doing. Like because people don't understand this, but because the Bayern has a new like people that is running it. Oliver Kahn and these guys are literally these guys are new HH. Like the old dudes, the big dogs, the old dudes, the veterans, they're gone. These are new fresh dudes, and they're just doing this in quote unquote for the first time, basically. So at this point, they're just like talking a big talk, rah 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 rah, you know. They're like a dog right now, just barking. But then it's like, bro, shut up. Like you guys really are not in this. You guys don't have any power at this moment. Lewandowski wants to leave. He has 1 year left in his contract. If he doesn't, if you force him to stay, you're gonna lose him on a free. You're gonna end up looking like clowns because you're gonna end up selling him in January for like 10 or 15 mil because you don't want to lose him for free. Like they're not in a strong situation, no matter how much they pretend to be HH. Barcelona right now are doing the most smartest thing in the world. Barcelona are chillaxing. They're chilling. They're pulling their feet up about the Lewandowski situation. But like, listen, man, we want you, Lewandowski. If y'all can, listen, it doesn't matter if we can afford it, but we want you. That's it. Bayern, what are you gonna do? If Bayern said 15 million, but then you can keep him. We're definitely going to be coming back in January. We're definitely going to tap him up after the transfer is over in November, stuff like that, and sign him on a pre-contract because they can do that. Like,
honestly, I think the issue with Bayern, this issue that I brought before to Ousmane is that okay, let's say you're keeping a guy who isn't 100% invested. Do you want to do that to Nagelsmann? Because Lewandowski is older than Nagelsmann. So Nagelsmann, a very young coach, now has a player who may be sulking, isn't really fully invested. Even if he plays, his heart isn't fully in it. Which is why I say, like, the bottom line is this, and this is an adage that there's always in football. Once a player says he wants to leave, you sell him. Because it doesn't matter how talented a player is. Even look at Messi. If Messi is depressed or not happy, he won't play well. If Neymar is not happy or if he's depressed, it doesn't matter how good you are. If you're not happy, if you're depressed, you won't play well. So that's the difficulty you have. So you're now enforcing an unhappy player onto a Nagelsmann who's trying to build a team in his image, and he needs everybody on board.
And HH also, Bayern Munich owes Barcelona. You cannot tell me Bayern Munich can do what they did to Barcelona. And literally, like, come on now. Like, not only that, the worst thing is Barcelona loaned up Coutinho to where? Bayern Munich. And for him to come off the bench to get two assists and 2 G's and assists, HH, they owe.
Barca haven't recovered.
No. Bayern Munich.
I have.
Bayern Munich do the right
Matt,
thing.
You haven't recovered. Matt, you haven't recovered.
Guys,
I mean, for the situation that's going on now, yeah.
Bayern Munich do the right thing. Sell Lewandowski to Barcelona. We're trying to see an El Clasico with Benz and Lewandowski. Give us that, man. Come on, do the right thing.
Before I take it off, let me go. Ousmane, talk to me. What's your take on this whole Lewandowski situation and Bayern holding on for that 50 milli?
I mean, I'm not surprised they want that much for him, but I think Bayern are just trying to flex on us, right? Because they can't believe that we have the money to pay for him. Because for them, in their eyes, we're supposed to be a finished club. Like, they beat us 8-2, they beat us 3-0, they beat us 3-0 again. Like, for them, they think they're above us. But their best player and their team wants to come join and play for us because that's the pinnacle of football. So they're trying to strong-arm us. They're trying to keep him just to make a statement, but it's really a bunch of echoes. And 50 million is fine and all, but at the end of the day, they don't even really want to negotiate with us. So they're willing to keep an unhappy player, and they're telling him they expect him in training. Well, if he doesn't show up, what happens then? I'm just saying.
I mean, he gets fined, and they keep finding him and so. But my thing though is that even if he then plays, you're playing an unhappy player. An unhappy player isn't going to be productive for you. And as a manager, I don't want an unhappy player. I don't care how good you are. I don't want a player who is only 80% invested. I don't want that player on my team.
And what I'd add is somebody brought up Bayern's new leadership. Leadership is hard, and especially following people who are successful. Bayern has always been firm, but who is it? Is it Florentino Perez? You have to have a firmness, but you also have to have finesse. Because when players are like, hey, I really feel like this is a machine, being a footballer is not being like being an accountant, which is why I agree with you, HH. If a player is done, like emotionally, they need to be shipped on, because football is partly about expression. It's partly about like passion. But also, when you're managing top-class players at a top place, it's easy to look from the outside and be like, they did this like this, without understanding the finesse, understanding the egos. And it seems like this new Bayern this new leadership is struggling to understand that balance between and so I don't really think they look at Barca as a lower club. I think this is just Bayern is saying, we won't capitulate. We are Bayern Munich. We're the biggest club in Germany, one of the biggest clubs in the world. Why should we capitulate to Lewandowski or Barcelona? I don't think they see Barca as lesser, but they see themselves as not inferior as well. But they haven't really learned how you finesse a situation to where, hey, we still look strong coming out of this, but we also are able to extrapolate as much value as we can.
Yeah, look, man, that's just my bottom line, is that, you just don't keep an unhappy dude, man. You just don't keep it. So, you see, for me, I really don't know how this is going to end up, because I just know Bayern are going to be very, very stubborn.
If this is Real Madrid, what will happen?
In what sense? If you mean if Real were Bayern, or if Real were
if Real were Bayern right now, and then
go.
So that's my point. It's like at a certain time, guys, like if a player says he doesn't want you, bro, like before he even finished the sentence, you gotta sell the dude. Like don't. It just doesn't make sense.
But did you know what is? And I think most of it said that. I think what is maybe hurting Bayern's pride is the fact of your top player, your superstar player, has come out and said, "I want to leave and I want to go to Barca."
But HH Ronaldo,
even with
Cristiano
Ronaldo,
Ronaldo
so forth.
left, bro. See, you know one thing though. By meaning, we need to. I get that point. Also, but at the end of the day, it's like, is the player bigger than a club? That player can never be bigger than Bayern Munich, because at the end of the day, they got Lewandowski for free, and they're gonna sell him for a profit, and they're gonna bring in for them their mentality will be like, who's next up? Who's next up? And that's how a big club should always function. When Real Madrid sold Ronaldo, everyone was like, "What? They were so what? Ronaldo?" They sold, but then Florentino Perez was not phased. He was like, "Okay, you want to leave? Skedaddle."
He was like, "We are Real Madrid, right?"
He's like, Bruno's like, "It's like, yo, I'm trying to leave." He's like, "Oh, that's the door." Ronaldo's like, what you mean?" He's like, "Skedaddle, bro. Get out of here. Get out of here, bro." It's that simple. Once Lewandowski expressed that he wanted to leave, boom. Get that shit done. Get him out of here as soon as possible. You gone, bro. And then at that point, then you make Lewandowski feel like, bro, nah, man, you're Bayern Munich. We don't play these games, man.
He's a slave.
Okay. So before I come to your boy Ricardo, let me just hit these Dubes, man. Your boy LC says, Knicks, the only true New York City franchise, even though they've not won the chip in about 3 billion years. I think last time they won was like in the 70s, not the Jersey Nets. Yeah.
Who remembers that, HH? Let's be honest. No joke.
No one does. Actually, do you remember what's Linsanity?
Yeah. That Carmelo.
That was a fun 2 weeks.
2 weeks. 2 weeks. Abrit's fair. Man City got Haaland to lose to Marseille. Hashtag clip it. Huh?
He's saying that's what will happen.
Your boy Larry Rout. Don't worry, HH. London Dodgers will sign.
He's gonna what? Raphinha's gonna throw the first pitch.
Suleiman says Werner, aka best young elite finisher.
Yeah, you
I never
did say
said
that.
that.
You
I
did
never
say
said
that.
that. I never said that. I never said that. I never said that. Suleiman, stop making up lies. I never said that, bro. Actually, wait, real quick. Sorry, Vato. I saw a palm tree in the background. Don't tell me you're living on an island.
I'm on holiday.
Hey, where?
Hey.
Whereabouts?
The Mother Island. Jay.
Oh, Jamaica.
Yeah.
Hey, nice one, man. Nice one. Yeah, no. As I said, wait, is that a palm? I don't think there are palm trees in Canada, man. So I was like, what the hell is happening? Oh, yeah. All right, nice one, man. Nice one. Enjoy, man. Shout out to your boy Casey. Munich, Bavaria was a founding center for Nazis. Casey, okay, this is not really
Wow.
the
Fuck the Germans, dude.
Hey,
Matt,
yo.
Matt, okay, let's just hit this. And also, again, I don't know, but Matt, look up the history of Argentina and the Nazis. That's what I'm saying. Do your Googles.
Wikipedia, dude. Wikipedia.
I don't give you no. History. Shout out to boy, yeah. De Jong to United, Lewandowski to Barca. CR7 isn't going to Bayern Munich. It's not happening, bro. Yeah, relax. Your boy is saying,
HHE was sent here to do a mission. I don't know. I'm not
to
gonna.
win the Europa
It's a
League, to win the Europa
classified.
League.
It's a classified mission.
to win the
okay?
Europa League. I know, to win the Europa League. Cardo,
Yeah, what's up?
Lewandowski, man. What's popping, man?
The ski.
The skiing, man. Are you guys gonna go skiing, or are Bayern gonna keep their skis?
To be honest, I don't think he's coming. I think Bayern are gonna hold him. You know what I think a part of it is too? It's that I don't know if you saw it the last year or so. You had the higher ups of Bayern Munich. It's kind of like they enjoyed taking shots at Barcelona and all their finances, and then kind of this is kind of like I feel like there's so much pride on the table that they don't want to let their best player go to a club that they've been clowning the last year or so, because then it's kind of like you kind of lost that battle at that point. So for them to hold on to Lewandowski is definitely
but Ricardo, do you? It's again cutting off your noses by your face. Do you now enforce an unhappy player on your young manager?
See, that's the thing, right? It's kind of like a day to day. Everybody disliked the video. It's kind of like a day to day thing, because I think if Lewandowski doesn't show up to training, that's gonna switch a lot of things. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that they have to sell him, because they can penalize him for that. But if he doesn't show up, it kind of puts more pressure on Bayern Munich and on the manager and the sporting director to be like, well, now is it worth keeping him? And I think at that point you do give leverage to Barcelona, but how much is another question. But I think Bayern Munich, and Lewandowski, to be fair, he has been very unprofessional in this whole thing. So I wouldn't put it out of the realm that he doesn't show up for training. But at the same time, I don't think Bayern Munich would fold anyways, because it seems like they don't really need the money for a replacement, because there is no replacement in the window, so they'd rather keep him for a year. But personally, I don't think he's gonna leave unless Bayern Munich somehow.
Okay, he doesn't leave. What does he do? He goes on strike.
Well, no, he can't go on strike because they can refuse to pay him and penalize him, or he could just play, perform, and I mean, if he still plays well, he can technically earn more money because he'll be on a free the following year, and he can negotiate with Barcelona in January, assuming things don't get fixed. Maybe, I don't know, maybe he signs a contract extension with Bayern Munich if things go well, which is initially what he wanted anyways. But I mean, who knows? So who knows? I think a lot can happen in 6 months. We've seen it with a lot of players, like especially Mbappe. We've seen it. I mean, with Messi, it was kind of a different story, but I mean, things can happen, right? But who knows? Who knows? But I think when it comes down to it, I don't think he'll go to Barcelona.
See, that's interesting because he's talked a lot. He's burning the bridge. So I don't see how he actually sleeps with his eyes closed in Germany the way he's been talking about everybody, right? So
it's not up to him, though.
No.
It's not up to him. He has no leverage in the situation.
No. But Ricardo, but I think Veda's point is that you've talked so much fudge, you've talked so much ish and so forth. if you end up staying, that's going to be a very weird dressing room.
Oh yeah, but Bayern Munich are like the way they have looked at the situation. Like he's talking mad shit, and the sporting director, they're like, "I don't care, you're still staying." Like, so it's kind of like they don't really care.
No, but here's the thing though, the Nagelsmann angle.
Yeah.
Should you? I know and everything. Your priority should always be of the benefits of Bayern. What is best for Bayern, and let's put Bayern in the best position to succeed. Would you enforce an unhappy player under a Nagelsmann? This guy's unhappy. He could mess up the dressing room. Nagelsmann is a young manager. Is this the right thing to do for Bayern, keeping an unhappy player? Forget about your beef with him. For Bayern Munich, is it the right thing to do, keeping an unhappy player?
It's never a good idea to keep an unhappy player because you can obviously flip him and make whatever money it generates. However, the thing is like I can understand if it's any other player, but Lewandowski has been the best goal scorer in the last 2 to 3 years.
But he's unhappy. You won't. If an unhappy player is not going to give you that productivity.
No. But okay, let's put it like this: if we're saying that he's unhappy, I believe there's certain exceptions to the rule, which is unfortunate. It's like Barcelona didn't let Messi leave. He still played well on an individual level at Barcelona that last year. Like he won the Ballon d'Or in that last year. So he played well. Barcelona benefited from that.
He stole it, by the way. But
yes, yeah, Mitchell Mike.
I mean, he didn't steal it, but whatever. You're just salty anyway.
He's a thief.
Yes, yeah, Mitchell Mike, man.
Yeah. So it's you can keep a player against as well. And I get Messi's an anomaly, so we might see that. For example, Ronaldo, he'll get his goals, but he probably doesn't want to be there. There's probably some internal thing that Ronaldo does want to leave, but Manchester United do not want to let him go. So with players like that, like it's probably worth keeping them because they're so good that they can still give you results regardless of how they feel. And Lewandowski, he's probably one of those players, at least right now, that were like, even though he wants to leave, you can keep him. He'll give you guaranteed 30 to 40 goals, even on depressed mental, on depression tax, so he can give you that amount of goals. But yeah, like I think he's worth keeping, in my opinion, especially when you can't replace him. So yeah,
you know what a Barca fan should do, HH? You know what they should do? They should do. You know how like, I mean, one thing I love about Twitter and everything. People are very good at making comps. So Barca fans should make a comp and have like the icon locked up with Lewandowski, where he's like playing. It's like, I'm locked up, won't let me out.
Wait, hold up. But before I come to Dubs, we've got to hear from. Actually, no. Let me hear from Hamza and the Hokage. But Hamza, talk to me. The whole Lewandowski thing. How do you see it?
I mean, it's a tough one because do you remember Carlos Tevez at City that one season 11?
Yeah. Where he actually refused to play.
He won the title in the last few games.
Yeah.
Like, but you seem like it's gone to a certain point with Lewandowski. I mean, that quote that he said, it was pretty deep. Can't remember exactly what he said. Something like something died inside of me or something.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
Pretty deep stuff to be saying. Like, it's going to be interesting, like you said, how he's going to go back and what it's going to be like next season at Bayern if he does stay. But for Barca, I think he really is needed because, I mean,
if you're Bayern, what do you do? Let's say you're the decision maker. Let's say you're Salihamidzic on your Oliver Kahn. What do you do? He's unhappy, but you know of his value. What do you do? Do you still keep an unhappy player, or do you try and strike a deal to make sure that you don't have an unhappy player, even if it's Lewandowski?
I think they keep him just because of what the striker market is like currently and what he means to them, and I don't think they'd get a replacement. I mean, in the Bundesliga, probably need someone half decent, but for Europe, we're not going to get anyone really of caliber.
Hokage, man, talk to me, man. This whole Bayern thing, man. I mean, they're holding out for 50 mil. They don't want to do anything less. I mean, from your point of view, from Bayern's point of view, realistically speaking, is this getting done, or this probably ain't going to get done? Lewandowski stays with Bayern for 1 year and then leaves on a free in the summer.
Wait, what gets done? Lewandowski leaving gets done, or?
Oh no, basically Lewandowski leaving to Barca this summer.
I
I don't know because Bayern has their asking price, and I'm pretty sure if they get the asking price they want, they'll sell it because at this point, I mean, I'm under the assumption, and all the Barca fans saying the money's coming. The money's coming out of nowhere. I don't know where the money's coming from. But once the money arrives from wherever the money's coming from, just match the 50 million, and I think Bayern will fully accept and let him leave. I think it's the best thing. I'm kind of sick and tired of it. I think it's time to move on anyway while he's unhappy. I think Nagelsmann's gonna we'd
So,
like
so,
to
so do you think he'll actually go on strike? If he actually, do you actually think Lewandowski will go on strike, or that's just talk?
I mean, I saw his old agent who's came out and basically slandered Lewandowski over this whole entire thing, saying your dream club was Real Madrid. Now you're working for Barcelona, basically. He even came out and revealed if Dortmund weren't willing to sell him back in 2013 on the free, he was going to go on strike. But obviously, they let him go to Bayern, and that's his old agent. Now, I don't know if he's just out there because they had a nasty split and saying these things, but seeing how Lewandowski's moving, going to dinner with Xavi and Ibiza,
yeah.
I think he will strike, and at that point, if the player goes on strike and doesn't show up to training, then Bayern has to suck it up and let him go for the betterment of the team, because then we just really gotta let go. And I think Nagelsmann can shift to creating a team that doesn't rely on a single goal scorer and kind of works throughout the summer on a team that could spread around the goals. Now that we got Mane, Gnabry, Coman, Sané, Muller, Musiala, and all those guys.
Let me hit this dubs, man. So from your boy Prajesh, man, says first finish paying up for Vidal's 2018 transfer. I think that's to you, Barca fans, who failed to pay your in installments and so forth, man. So Leeds, I told you, man, don't allow Barca, man. These guys they never pay you back, bro. Shout out to your boy Michael Buford. They want to sell Gnabry, but not Lewandowski. Shake my head. So wait, are you saying that they should keep Gnabry instead of Lewandowski? Because I mean, don't get me wrong, Gnabry has not really been that good on form lately, has he? You know, his form, Gnabry's form has been a bit tricky. But look, it's my thing. You know what? It could be a scenario where talk. Lewandowski stays. There's a bit of beef for the first like Kane. First few weeks, there's a bit of beef. After the season starts, he starts scoring. Everything is forgiven. He gives back and won one last year. I believe this is what I think is going to happen. Before I get to the last stop, I believe that he will go on strike. They'll find him. There'll be back and forth. He'll eventually come back. Soccer to realize that he has to play. There's no point in just not playing. And the transfer window will close. First few seasons, maybe a few boost here and there. Once he scores his first goal, his first hat trick, it is what it is. He'll play out that final year, then he'll leave for free in the summer.
And scoring 45 goals again.
Yeah, like that's what I think will happen. I'm not sure all will be forgiven and so forth because of what has been said and how he's operated, but we'll see. We'll see. Your boy Daniel CR, think of the dub Daniel. Bayern have the upper hand. They know they're going to let Lewandowski go. They know Barca are going to splash the 60. No, relax. Bayern have nothing to really lose. Well, sort of they do if they get a Lewandowski guy who's not motivated and is much more of a detriment to the team rather than an asset. And my thing is that Barca, I don't think Barca are going to go up. Barca don't need Lewandowski. They like him. They don't need him. It's not do or die for them to have Lewandowski. So it's not a case of like, oh my gosh, if you don't have Lewandowski, we're going to be screwed over, man. So, I mean, like, quickly, just going around before we go to the last topic. My view, Lewandowski stays with Bayern. Hokage, what happens?
I think he'll leave, but not now. I think maybe in a couple weeks.
Oh, okay. Ricardo?
I think he stays. I don't think Barcelona is gonna pay the amount unless somehow Bayern fold because of Lewandowski's actions. But I think he stays.
Vater?
I think my internet's moving mad, so I'm gonna hit you with this comment before bouncing. But I don't think Lewandowski ends the season at Bayern. I think he does a Coutinho, little nicks, aches and pains, and then they find a way to get him out.
Oh wow! All right, Hamza.
What you think? Whether he's going to go on or not?
Yeah.
No, I think he'll end up staying.
Okay. Yes, yeah. Or nothing yesterday. Musa, what do you think happens, man?
I think he leaves. I also think it's wild. A couple people have called Lewandowski unprofessional, which I guess he has been. There's such a double standard whenever we talk about professionalism and contracts. Bayern literally are prepared to sit Gnabry for a year if he doesn't extend or accept the transfer. They've done this multiple times. Clubs always do this. Barca tried to make Dembele take a transfer in January if he didn't, and they were going to sit him. Like, I understand you have a contract, but also if I've given you 8 years dutifully and you aren't willing to like work with me, that's bad management. And we never hold clubs to the same standard that we hold players to. Anyway, I think he leaves because that's just bad juju in the locker room.
Yeah. All right, last thing right now. And here's my thing, man. This dude, man. Neymar. Here's the thing. This is my thing on Neymar. Now anyone can jump in. Apart from Newcastle, who can afford $3 billion a week plus a private island and a planet? The only other guys Newcastle. Chelsea can't afford a planet. They can afford a lot of money. They can't afford a planet, a private island, and a nuclear warhead, which is what Neymar pretty much needs every single week to roll through. So my thing about this is here's my thing. I believe that PSG wants to get rid of him. I do believe that. But I don't know how realistic or how viable that may be. You don't go down from 800,000 to 400,000 or even 500,000. That's a massive scale down. So, and my thing is that, and here's the thing, Neymar strikes me as a guy who, if you're not going to play me, I'm on Twitch, I have a gaming channel, I have a yacht, I've got parties to go to. I'm good. I can literally just live up my life, chill out, and I'm still under contract. I can easily see Neymar go there because for me, I'm not sure, because that guy I saw in that documentary, that guy ain't motivated, bro. Let's keep this that. That guy ain't motivated to prove himself. The Neymar that wanted to win the Ballon d'Or and prove that he's very best, that Neymar's already gone. The only Neymar we have now is, can I win a World Cup with Brazil? Can I give Brazil a major trophy? Can I fulfill my destiny and deliver a World Cup for Brazil as this generation's talent? That's his only focus. The UCL, it's cool. Yeah, I like that. But he's not as emotionally invested in the UCL as maybe Sofa. And that is maybe what Luis Campos maybe thinking that Luis Campos is, no, we have to have guys who are all fully invested in it to say what's up. Because PSG INC were like, oh, no, Neymar is saying, Neymar is staying. I am more willing to believe RMC and Get French Football News than a PSG Twitter account. So I'm not believing PSG _hub over RMC and Get French Football News because PSG _hub is obviously much more biased for Neymar. So I do believe that he's trying to lead. But my thing is that apart from Newcastle, who's going to afford his wages? People say he'd want to go to Barca. We've all talked about how difficult their situation is. Now, Neymar, if you're truly desperate of going to Barca, are you now going to go from 800,000 to like 250 or 200, 180? No, that's not happening. There's no chance now that Neymar's going to go down for 800. See, guys, whenever you're living a certain lifestyle and so forth, you are accustomed to things. You are accustomed to certain kinds of bills and so forth. So it's very hard to come down from that and so forth. Because I used to be wrong in assuming saying, oh my gosh, you have so much money before. Why can't you just take a pay cut? You have to understand that changing lifestyles is very difficult to do. It's drastically difficult to do because yes, you can see these guys have money, but your bills are on parity with how much you're earning based off your lifestyle. So 800,000 a week to like 200,000, that's a massive scale down. That means a lot of those mansions, private jets, and so forth are going to have to be foregone. So it's not realistic. So for me, this whole Neymar story, I think it's a dud. The only thing we should be saying is he going to be part of the PSG project? I do not know how feasible it is that Neymar goes. So my Neymar to Chelsea dream, that didn't happen. That didn't happen. Chelsea can't afford to pay me 500,000 or 600,000. That's not happening. So, Ricardo, talk to me, man. Neymar.
Yeah, Neymar, let's make it very clear. He's not leaving PSG. It's mission impossible, to be honest. The guy earns 30 million a year. He's the third highest paid player in the world. There's no club in the world of football that's gonna pay. And I see a lot of people, a lot of EPL fans, they're like, PSG will send them a loan and they will pay part of his wages. If you're gonna pay part of Neymar's wages, that's like literally paying for a whole other player that does not exist. Like that guy gets paid ridiculous amount of money. And if that's the case, how much are you going to pay of his wages? Are you going to pay 80, 70% of his wages? Because at that point, you might as well just keep Neymar and, and play him. Because as much as we can say Neymar comes with a lot of baggage, he's still one of the best players in the world when he's playing. So in PSG's interest, you might as well keep him. As for other clubs, you're not going to be able to afford him because not only, even if they sell him on the low, that salary, man, that's going to be impossible to move. And the thing with PSG is that, and they're not going to send him on loan, by the way, because even if they send them on loan, that team is going to send Neymar right back, and then PSG are stuck with the same problem. Neymar just signed a contract extension last year till 2025, I believe. He has 3 years left. So that's guaranteed 90 million on the table for him. And there's some reports saying that on July 1st, which is for some of you today, that contract gets extended till 2027 because apparently in France you can't sign a 5-year extension if you have certain amount of years remaining. So if that's 5 years now, that's 150 million on the table. You're smoking absolute crack if you think he's gonna let that amount of money on the table just to join some team in London or in Turin or in Manchester. He's not leaving that money. It's literally impossible. Not only that, but there has been reports, very reliable reports. There's a reporter called Marcelo Beckler who is insanely reliable when it comes to South American players, especially with Neymar and Messi, because he's the one that broke the transfers from Barcelona to PSG. He has said that PSG hasn't even communicated to Neymar that they want to go without him, nor does Neymar have any plans of leaving. And so, I mean, that should just tell you everything. And they said something that PSG are not even gonna fathom the thought of sending him on loan because it makes no difference because clubs won't pay his full salary. So the guy is not leaving. This is kind of like every season we have this. If he was to leave, the only team I can see him go to, and I'll be honest, I think it's Barcelona, because Neymar seems like the type of guy that at this stage of his life, like, he doesn't want to really try new things because he said, he wants to just win the World Cup and get the hell out of football, right? So I think if he was to leave Paris, like, he's gonna go somewhere where he's been familiar, and that's Barcelona. And given his in social media and stuff, a lot of his friends still live in Barcelona, and his son lives in Barcelona as well, apparently. So it's kind of like it's pretty obvious where his choice to be in, and
but he's not gonna he ain't gonna take that crazy wage cut.
Yeah, no, he's not. I mean, and I don't blame him for taking that wage cut. Like, anybody who takes that wage cut, I mean, maybe I could give you credit for being, motivated for football, but you're also an idiot for leaving that amount of money on the table.
I can't believe you said that, Ricardo. Barcelona, bro. Barcelona.
He's not getting the same amount of money though. That's the point.
But then, the idea to imagine that is so ridiculous.
How?
It's so impossible.
In what sense?
Because Barcelona are trying to get rid of wages, and he's under one of the biggest wages in world football. How does that make any sense?
Barcelona doesn't want him.
But then it's like, guys, we cannot play Football Manager or like FIFA career mode. There's no hypothetical.
The point is, this ain't happening. In a crazy hypothetical thing, is if Neymar wants to go to Barca, if he's desperate to go to Barca and so forth, then okay, what wage do I need to be on for me to now become a Barca player?
Zero. He needs to be on zero wages. HH. Like,
relax.
Come on, like
200,
HH. The
180.
But actually, the idea of Barcelona signing Neymar is impossible. Is that he has a likelihood of signing for Espanyol or like a Serie A B team? Come on,
this is not happening. Neymar is staying at PSG. It is what it is. And the sad thing about it is that now we're not going to see that. Is this dude Galtier really going to use it? Because I keep telling you people this and so forth. We saw it with Ronaldinho. We see many Brazilians. As Ricardo just said, after the World Cup, Neymar is checked out. He's just going to just take this money because 90 mil is 90 mil. I play. We win. But after the World Cup, as a competitor, I'm out.
Okay, I'm gonna give. Okay, let's play in. I'm gonna play in Ricardo H's fantasy, right? La La Land, right? I'm Laporta. Ring.
Yes, he's not joining Barcelona, bro.
No, hold on. I'm Laporta. Ring. Hello? Hey, it's Neymar. If you dare call me ever again, I will fly to Paris and slap the hell out of you. Don't call me. That's what, if I was Laporta, I would do that. Because, like, if I'm a Barcelona president, I'm trying to fix the most biggest financial situation in the history of our football club. And Neymar has audacity to call me.
If Laporta could get Neymar, he'd get Neymar.
Never.
No, anybody.
Are you mad?
Never.
Anybody who sits and denies Neymar's ability as a player is
once upon a time.
No, it's
not.
Yes,
shut up.
Yes, here. No, wait, hold on.
You take Neymar. Yes, shut up, man.
Of course, I'll take Neymar.
So shut up.
Check my Twitters, bro. I be having Neymar with the United shirt, bro. Bro, of course.
Yes, that's disgusting. Yes, take down that.
Neymar would instantly be the best player on any team he goes to.
Yeah.
No, for sure. But no, Ricardo. Bro, I'm not a Barcelona fan, but god damn it, guys, have some self-respect. Stop mentioning this guy's name. This guy,
bro, we're not mentioning. He just gets linked to us every summer.
This guy left. They left in the most disgraceful and disrespectful way. Get out of here. You are dead to Barcelona. And Barcelona, he is dead. He is dead.
There's one thing about Neymar you could tell is that I genuinely believe he regrets leaving Barcelona.
Oh, yes, he does.
Of course.
That's obvious. Okay, well, let me come to Hokage. Hokage, talk to this whole Neymar thing.
Yeah, I don't think I never really thought the reports of him being forced out were true, because if you just think of PSG's attack, okay, say they get rid of Neymar, okay, you have Messi and Mbappe. Who else? Who else is in that attack? Because what happens if something happens to Messi? What happens if something happens to Mbappe? Then you have either one of them carrying the whole entire team. So I think it's just the safest option for PSG to keep Neymar there. And even if it's Neymar giving his half-assed effort, it's better than, to be honest, it's better than 80% of the other players in the world, talent-wise and everything. So, yeah, I don't know. I think also with PSG last season, it's just the injuries also that he's been plagued with at PSG during his time in Paris hasn't helped him. But I mean, I hope if he doesn't show up like he did last season to the PSG preseason, where he had a little bit of that Samba style belly, then so if he doesn't show up like that, then maybe there's hope. Then maybe PSG can do something. But yeah, I never thought he'd leave this. And it's also just based on the weight. It's all the wages thing, like 800K a week. Ricardo's right. You would be stupid to go anywhere for under like 500K. You're stupid because you're leaving behind way too much money in Paris. Yeah, and for a guy who's basically checked out of club football, what's the point? He's gonna play the World Cup, and I think he said in the past, the World Cup and I'm done. So my prediction is after that World Cup, we're gonna see basically a lifeless Neymar footballing wise. So yeah, I mean. Places I'd like to see him, I genuinely think Chelsea would be an insane move, because I want to see Neymar in the Premier League, and I think
why do you do this?
Yes, let him talk. Wait, I'll mute him.
You know how good Neymar to the Premier League would be? He would absolutely shit on the English football style of get stuck in. He'd evade all of Declan Rice's horror tackles.
He'd be a superstar.
He looks good in red. He doesn't look good in blue.
Yes,
all I'm saying.
Wait, let me meet this dude, man. He'd be a superstar. Like, the Premier League hasn't had a superstar since Hazard.
Yeah.
Since Hazard, they've not had a truly standard individual superstar. So
Yeah.
Ricardo,
wasn't
mute your
that
mic.
big,
Ricardo,
man.
mute
He
your mic.
wasn't
Ricardo,
that
mute
big,
your
man.
mic. Ricardo, mute your mic.
But yeah, that's like the only place I'd want to see him go if a exit was possible is the Premier League, because who gives a crap about the Bundesliga? Who gives a Serie A is competitive, but the quality in Serie A is trash right now. So the Premier League would be the only place I want to see him. But yeah, just the wage thing, there's no way. But hopefully the M&M can do something. Just for as a footballing fan, can they pull it together just for like maybe a couple matches? I want to see them playing together like in full force.
Yeah.
But it hasn't happened yet, so yeah.
And also rumors are Homeboy is going to do a 3-5-2. So I'm not sure how Neymar fits into in a 3-5-2. So Hamza, talk to me, man. Neymar.
You know, do you think Neymar checked out after the World Cup, regardless of how the World Cup goes for him? Because you know, I'm assuming that say they don't win it and he's just downbeat, but say they win it, do you think that could inspire him and he can go a different direction and want to play for a few more years at a high level?
No. I think he's checked us regardless, but I think a Neymar winning the World Cup, you can maybe get a little bit more from him than a Neymar who doesn't win the World Cup. He's checked us regardless. I just feel, sort of like when Ronaldo won the World Cup in 02, he still played, but like, bro, because I think for a lot of these Brazilians, they're not like a Messi or Cristiano. Their main thing is to give their all for that World Cup glory, based on just how important the World Cup is. In Brazil, no one cares about Ballon d'Ors or Champions. It's about that World Cup. So for him, he knows that, bro, I have to win this World Cup. So I think once he wins, it's like, boom. I remember he already has the Champions League.
Yeah.
So now the World Cup, like, okay, like what more do I have to achieve? I'm good. I don't really care about the Ballon d'Or. And then, but if he doesn't win it, bro,
if they win the World Cup, he has a good chance at it.
You know, well, oh yes, because this is Benzema's Ballon d'Or that's coming up now. So yeah, for the he'd have a good chance. He'd have a good chance. But yeah, like I mean, regardless though, his checks out after World Cup.
He's saying the wages are too much for anyone.
Musa, what would you say about Neymar? Oh, you're
yeah, I agree with a lot of what Ricardo said. I think that the wages are they're almost insurmountable. I think the thing that I kind of disagree with Hokage is he kind of has to stay, and I do think that Neymar, even at 80%, he's a phenomenal talent. The problem at PSG is like talent isn't your biggest problem. It's like mentality. And if you really want to try to accomplish something in the UCL, like I'm a big believer, especially in team sports, like your stars or your leaders, and even if Neymar doesn't have the most leadership qualities, he's a leader just by the fact of his talent. They have to be on the same page and they have to be committed. If Neymar is, which I do think he's gonna, everybody is in agreement after the World Cup. Neymar, and maybe even before the World Cup, Neymar's like out of there. He's kind of a parasite on the locker room a little bit. But with those wages, who really would be willing to take that hit? And that's my biggest thing is like, yes, you will get some great performances from Neymar, but when it comes down to that UCL and you have a second leg on the road and you need to go win, like, is Neymar the guy that you want? Like, in your lineup, is that the guy that you're like, yo, we can depend on him to show up and be fully committed for this? Yeah, no. And also, where would I like to see him? I would like to see him in the Prem. I don't know if his body would hold up, like, to be honest.
No, but that's the misconception. I think someone mentioned this to me. League Uber Eats is way more physical than the Premier League. So if he can survive Uber Eats and so forth, Premier League, then he can survive the Premier League.
I would have to agree with that. League One is definitely way more. Not even that, but Neymar also plays in South American qualifiers. Like, I'm sorry, EPL physicality is overrated.
Oh yes, no, it was you. Sorry, it was actually Ricardo who made the point that Uber Eats is more physical than the EPL. So that wouldn't be an issue. It's just about motivation.
I think it was Casey, actually.
But it's not like he's been healthy in the Uber Eats. Like, he's been injured. And as an injured player, you don't become more durable. Like, there's a saying, at least in American sports, injured players always, like, they're injured players. There's a reason for it. And I'm not maybe Uber Eats is more physical. I do think the Prem is like one of the more physical of the big
Imagine
five.
a Ronaldo Neymar link up though. Damn.
Yes,
No,
yeah.
I won't imagine that. That's
Yeah, me neither. No, none of us will. None of us will.
Don't insult me with those nightmares. But I would like to see him in the Prem because I don't really want to. I don't want to see him in Uber Eats. So I definitely don't want to see him in Italy. I don't want to see him anywhere. And even though I'm a Barca guy, that Neymar love affair, like it's been going on since he left. Before he left, it's time out. Like everybody just needs to move on. I feel for him. I do think he regrets it, but I also can kind of respect saying, you know what, I am one of, if not the most talented, one of the most talented players in my generation. I want to be the guy. Like I want to not be on the coattails of this, maybe the greatest player of all time. I want to go make my own way. So I do think he regrets it, but I can respect being like, hey, I want to be the guy.
Can I ask a question? Why not? Why not Neymar to United? Can someone explain that to me, please?
Oh, yes, very no. Yes, very simply.
He doesn't want to join.
Oh,
yeah, I forgot about that.
Why? No. Yes, yeah. Why the bloody hell would a guy who is still regarded as one of the best players in the world want to go to the Europa League, an unproven manager in Ten Hag, and link up with a guy who turns 62 next week?
He literally said last month that he wants to win the Champions League. I don't think he.
Yeah. So how do you win the Champions League if you're in Europa League? How does that work? Yes, yeah.
It's so please, why can we not have good things, man? Come on, man. Like I'm not gonna lie to you, right? Like as much as I hate on Neymar, bro, man, he comes to United, and I watch him week in week out. This if he does a little, you know, some that's all I need. That's all I need,
guys. People say like my hate for Neymar is because I know how good he is.
Yeah.
My hate for Neymar is my annoyance that he isn't the best player in the world and sitting on the throne. Hence why when they said Neymar to Chelsea, 1,000% I'll be doing cartwheels. Of course, any team would take Neymar because despite of what it is, the guy's ability
So why
is
don't
insane.
you hate Hazard? Why don't you? That's another guy who was supposed to be on the throne and has
no.
abdicated.
He's thick, that's why.
Hazard is different though. Hazard is different because Hazard gave me that Chelsea love. He gave me that Chelsea love.
And then he left and they won the Champions League.
Okay, guys, we'll talk. Marcus Ballon d'Or Rashford. On one side, Nene
I know.
on the other side.
Damn bloody fool.
Guys. All I'm gonna say is Mbappe, Neymar do it and ain't got nothing on Marcus Rashford and Neymar.
Let me hit this. This from Omo Knows says, Keita needs full exposing from a Liverpool fan. It was a dot buy. It is what it is. Klopp made a dot buy in Keita. It is what it is. It happens, man. Miss B Nation, Bas. Ricardo Musa, do you owe 19 clubs?
Owed? Like owe money back?
Yeah.
I think most of those are even paid. So, I mean, this guy is just a full-time hater. So
I don't know.
Also, it's one thing if you owe money. It's another thing if people know that you can pay it back or that you're worth it. And Barca was able to get they can get a loan from Goldman Sachs for over $1 billion. It's not because Goldman Sachs does it. Goldman Sachs is not giving anybody $1 billion loan that they don't think can pay it back. Like
Exactly.
so, yes, they have a lot of outstanding loans, but they're also like the most profitable club in the world. Like, so I don't know.
Let's ignore that comment that I just put up, please. Thank you. Shout out to your boy Adams. A checked out Neymar is still better than 90% of his peers.
He's better than 99% of players.
I'm tired of KD being Salah.
That's that is real because guys, let's be real. Let's just keep it real, man. We hate him on everything, but no one cares about Salah. No one cares about De Bruyne. No one cares about Charles Darwin. No one cares about these freaking dudes. Bro. Neymar is what we pay to see. We don't pay to watch De Bruyne. We don't pay to watch Salah. We pay to watch someone like a Neymar. And my thing though is, so unless this guy goes crazy, because I've got a very sick thing. What if Neymar somehow gets injured? Because guys, standard. Somebody
Hey,
is injured before the World Cup.
don't do this.
Someone is getting. I don't know who. A big player is going to get injured before the World Cup. I don't know who.
You know this better than me.
Yes, sir.
Didn't Maldini get injured before the 2006 World Cup?
Yeah.
Wasn't he retired?
No, he retired actually.
Oh, he retired. No, because it was. I think he retired because it was Nesta and Cannavaro. Then Nesta got injured. Then Materazzi came in.
Okay.
So he'd already retired. He'd already retired already. What's it called?
We lost LDO too. Think about that.
LC.
Yeah.
LZB Google amortization for football transfers. No. Misby is just a 24/7 hater, man. Like he's what he is. Just hard to be 24/7 hater. Guys, look, man. I would say shout out to the panel, man. Shout out to your boy Ricardo. Shout out to your boy Hokage, Musa, Hamza, Yassi. We're gonna be back here tomorrow, talking more of this football transfers. Hopefully, this Dembele thing will be done. And as I say at the end of every stream, if not for Kevin, the English man De Bruyne, Eden Hazard would be a World Cup winner, and he would have surpassed both Cristiano and Messi for done.
Oh,
my God.